because you do a good job at it.
Hey, welcome everybody to Mindset Reset Master Power Series TV. Guys, I know y'all been missing us. We've been busy, learning some stuff to make sure we got some stuff for y'all. This is, the Dr. Coach Ruth Ann right here for you. And of course, we have the lovely, full, soon-to-be doctor herself, Coach Frederica Black. And we're coming straight from www.fredricablackcoaching.com and of course HTTP CoachMeRuthAnn.com. But I am not going to be starting this conversation this evening. Coach Black will be. So I will introduce my girl, my pal, my mentor, one of my girls that she's always there for me. This is my accountability partner, and she can also be yours. Frederica Black. Coach Black, are you there?
I am here, Coach Ralph. Thank you so much for such a wonderful introduction and such a lively spirit today. You just lifted me right up and got me smiling. Thank you so much. Good evening to our viewers. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for your commitment to your success. Thank you for your belief in us. And I want you to know that we believe in you too. This evening, I want to share with you, I want to talk to you based on a conversation that I had. Not so much a conversation, a question that was asked to me this week while I was visiting Nassau. Someone says, what it is that you do? So I said, personal development coaching. And they asked me, what does that entail? And I said to them that I inspire others to plan and to create the success that they desire. And so this evening, I wanted Coach Ra and I to have a conversation with you about believing and planning and creating the success that you desire, because we believe that everything that you want is already inside of you. We want to help you to tap into that so that you can manifest it in your life. I believe that as it is happening for me, that it can happen for you. And so, Coach Ra, this evening we're going to talk about how we inspire others to create, to plan for the success that they desire. And so how, you may ask, how do we inspire others to plan, to create, and to achieve the success that they desire? And we do that by helping people to focus, actually identify what it is that they want to do, get them to tap into their deepest desires. And one of the ways that I tell people to get into their desires, to become aware of their desires, is to start to pay attention to the things that they crave, the longings that they have, and just start to take notice of their thought patterns, start to take notice of the things that make them happy, the things that make them feel like this is why I'm living. And so that's where I want you to go today. I want you to start to take note of your deepest desires, because those desires are indications of what it is that you were meant to be doing. Your desires guide you into your purpose. Those desires that are innate in you, they help you to become all that you were destined to be. And so, first and foremost, we want you to start to pay attention to those desires. And as you begin to pay attention to your desires, you will get on the path to achieving what it is, or manifesting what it is that you want. And I know Coach Ra has something to say about desires. And after we talk about desires, we're going to talk about creating a plan, because you're going to need a plan in order to manifest what it is you want. And so, Coach Ra, I know you're passionate about desires. And so I want you to weigh in right now on desire, because it is essential if one is going to manifest who it is that they truly are.
Well, I think sometimes, Coach Black, and I know you and I have discussed this before.
Coach Ra, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Go ahead.
Basically,
Loud and clear.
I know, Coach Black, thank you. I know we have spoken about this before on some of our past webinars. And so to those that are first-time listeners, or even our listeners that always tap in when they want to periodically, I just want to say that desires are so important, because it literally is the beginning of the dream coming to fruition, or the goal that you totally want to see happen or manifest, it is that feeling that burns within you, and you know that I have to do this. And it's sometimes you feel like, you know, like something's yearningly pulling at you, and literally that is that desire that's within you that God has gifted you to be able to do this. And another thing that I know Coach Black and myself have spoken to our listening audience before about, which is so incredible, and I don't want to word it wrong, and Coach Black, please correct me if I say it wrong, is that anything that God, or anything that we desire, it is already able to happen, meaning there's no desire too great. So when you suddenly state or say something, or you feel this yearning for something that can manifest itself within you, the capacity is there. Like, you don't even have to doubt it, because I think that's where sometimes we pause, or pull ourselves back, or we get drawn in, or fear, you know, false evidence appears real, and we start saying, oh, I'm not sure if that is really for me. Maybe that is for so-and-so. Maybe I can't achieve that. But in the learnings and studies that Coach Black and myself have done to get where we are now, we have learned that any desire that you can dream out, or feel that you are going to accomplish, you have all the tools required to accomplish that desire. Now, do you need assistance in being those tools being tapped out of you because maybe you cannot find them or locate them? But they are there. What that means is that God does not, he's such a kind God, such a loving God, such a phenomenal being. He does not allow us to fathom something in our head that he knows we can't already accomplish. Am I correct, Coach Black?
You're definitely correct. And I remember you saying on one of the past webinars that desire is an accurate. It is an accurate. I don't know the exact wording, but you were saying to the effect that our desires are an accurate indication of what it is that we should be doing. Okay? And yeah, you don't desire something unless that is signaling you towards something greater. And we can look at ourselves as individuals and compare to someone else that we're close to. And I'll talk about you and I. Some of the things that you desire, Coach Rar, they do not appeal to me. They do not motivate me. They do not give me a yearning. But those desires are in you. Okay, and let's talk about your graphic design, which I think you're so great at. I have no desire to be artistic, none. No desire to come up with anything as it relates to art. But you have a desire, and every time you see something artistic, you're drawn towards that. You have a desire or indications that signal at you constantly to say that you're supposed to be doing something creative related to art. And I know without a shadow of a doubt that that is your calling. That is a part of what you were placed on this planet to do. And those desires that you have indicate that. Now, I don't have those desires because my calling has nothing to do with graphic designs or art. And so look at what it is that gets you, that gives you a yearning, that makes you want to do this a little bit more. I want to be great at this. Those desires are an accurate indication of what it is that you're supposed to be doing. And I think too many times we come out of our element. We do what other people tell us that we should be doing. We don't listen to the signals. We don't listen to the signs that were placed in us from the time we were conceived. We do not follow that which we were supposed to be doing. We're trying to fit into the mold of what others are saying. And so today I want you to pay attention to your desires. And as you start to identify, and I'm constantly doing this. I am constantly writing down things that make me happy, things that make me feel fulfilled, just so that I can understand who Frederica is, so that I can fulfill what it is that I was placed here to do. And so then the next thing is, you need to create a plan. You need to create a plan. I cannot tell you this enough. A plan is essential to your success. You need to write down what it is that you want. And you need to make preparation every morning that you get up out of your bed to do something towards what it is you are placed here to do. And so I want to ask you to start to write out if you have not been writing out. And I know our dedicated audience constantly tell me that, those persons that we communicate with tell me that, oh, Frederica, I'm at least trying to stick to the plan. Yes, some days I'm off track, but I try to get back to the plan. I want to ask you to continue to plan your life out. I want to ask you to continue to focus on what it is that you are meant to be doing. I want to ask you to do small activities. It doesn't have to be anything big. You can do small activities every day that will take you in the direction of what it is you're supposed to be doing. And so for me, personal development coaching and helping to inspire others to believe in themselves, that is what I do. I help others to believe in themselves. And so some of the other stuff that comes along with what I do, maybe, well, say the coaching, where it's fully personal development, that always ties back to inspiring others to believe in themselves. Everything that I do has to tie back into helping others to believe in themselves, inspiring others to believe that they can do it, that greatness is in them. I know that that's what I here for. And so every day for at least half an hour, I do something that makes what I was called to do more reality. So how are you going to inspire people, Frederica, to believe in themselves? I need to learn what it is, one, from a psychological point of view, from an emotional point of view. I need to learn what it is that give people the drive to go out there and take action. I need to learn those stuff. And so every day, Coach Black does something that takes her closer to the goal. And Coach Ray, I want you to talk about your graphic designs, because I know that, yes, you're a personal development coach. That's what you're called to do. And some of us have more than one thing that we're called to do. But you inspire people through art, Coach Ron, through creativity. Talk about some of the things that you do daily, the plans that you have, so that you can manifest what it is you were placed here to do.
Well, I think I totally agree with you with, these different gifts that we have within us, and that, yes, definitely, you have to make the steps towards them on a daily basis. And thank you so much for making me an example. Girl. But anyway, thank God y'all don't see my face today. But basically, I'd like to also give the same thing regarding you. Like, people don't know sometimes how anal you are with your organizational skills and with really creating that business environment for businesses that don't know how to. And I think sometimes you look at it as like, that's not something that I enjoy doing, but ultimately that is also something that you're so gifted at, that others that, normally would not be able to do. And so I say all of that to say that, and I think both Coach Black and myself are saying this to you, audience, that as you can see, each of us are talking about a gift that we, standing on the outside, can see within somebody else, which is sometimes really important, because we will beat ourselves over the head and say, well, I'm not good at this. And Coach Black can tell you, from my perspective, I always feel that my graphics are not up to par. as much as I love it, I always feel like, you know, I don't think I'm good enough. And, you know, and until I see it in huge printed, you know, form and all this different stuff in banners and all over the place, I'm like, wow. And then I see people stealing my graphics. I'm like, wow, I feel honored when I see somebody copying it and adding their name to it and all these different things. And I'll never forget when I went to go and get my doctorate, and I walked in the room, and at the front of the room behind the podium was a graphic that I had done for one of the administrators. She had actually put this huge, I think it was 8 foot by 6 foot behind the podium, and all I could do was drop my mouth because it was so beautiful, and I'm like, OMG, I did that. So yes, on a daily basis, I take steps moving towards my goal in my graphic design business, being it, you know, if there's a job to do, or is there for example, I love going on any type of YouTube or any type of Google site and just saying, you know, how is this technique done, so that I can learn. And like Coach Black said, a lot of times these desires are things that God has gifted us with, because ultimately I've never been to school for graphic design. So I'm self-taught. And I mean, I know I've even had high-paying jobs for my graphic design work. So it's one of those things that we are all gifted with. I know Coach Black herself, with her phenomenal business setup skills, she's been paid like beautifully, handsomely, you know, for something that I know I can do, but I can't stand doing it. And that's a gift that you, Coach Black, also have on top of your phenomenal giving skills, as well as your service to the junior youth. That is something that you love. You love hanging and giggling and just showing them a good time, and that it's okay to speak at this time, and, you know, they can feel comfortable talking to you. That's a positive thing, because, you know, we have to remember they have issues going on. But I know I'm getting sidetracked, so I just want to say that definitely with your desires and your goals, Coach Black and I are not telling you to quit what you're doing. We're saying, what is your goal? 1, write it down. And we're going to go back to the reticular activation system. Yeah, guys, I got it. System, you know, the RAS system. If you don't put it up there, your subconscious is not going to know what your conscious mind wants. You know, so we need to connect that. You have to understand. I know this doesn't make sense, but I've had many people that just walk into my shop, and I give them free advice, and I'm constantly free coaching skills and giving it out, because I'm trying to develop myself, and I want to see where they're going to go with me assisting them. Because remember, me and Coach Black, all we're trying to do is manifest what you already have within you. We're not giving you anything. You understand? We're just showing you what you already had. We're just maybe enlightening you on tools that you might not be able to see for yourself. But we are not trying to give you anything that we have, because that's not what coaching is about. Coaching is about pulling out the gems that maybe you don't see within yourself, but they're there. I had one of my clients, when she came in, she's like, well, Ruthann, should I do this? And I'm like, what do you think? And she's like, well, I prefer this and I prefer that. I said, so go with it. And so then she said, oh, well, you know, maybe I should do this. I said, okay, why would you do that? What do you think about this? And she said, well, what do you think? I said, well, I mean, if you feel it's great, then go with it. And if you don't see what I'm doing, basically all I'm doing is allowing her to have a sounding board, or like a pegboard, or a whiteboard, or a blackboard. You're just hitting off of me, and I'm just allowing you to think and to manifest that. And that's what Coach Black and I do. We're not giving you anything. We're just allowing you to be the best you ever. Because all of us are in the image and likeness of God. So we all have the capacity to be these like phenomenal, like sensational, absolutely magnificent beings. But in order to be that, sometimes we just need people to just chisel away the dross. Yeah, I said it. The dross, the dirt, the film, the grease, the clay, the mud, the cement that we've allowed to form around us based on people's opinions of us, based on beliefs that we've taken on. And you know Coach Black is passionate about beliefs, but I don't even want to go into that this evening. But really, we are here to tap into that greater self that is definitely within you. But you have to want it, and you have to understand that you have the capacity to do whatever you desire. It is an accurate picture of what you can achieve. Do you understand that? I mean, see, now I'm feeling fathomed again, because I felt fathomed when we first talked about this. I think this was like at least, 8 weeks ago we spoke about this. It's an accurate picture of what you can become. That's a serious thing, you know. So if you, once you have stated it, it means you can actually do it. You can achieve it. Now, how long are you going to take to get there is up to you. Because like Coach Black said, okay, she puts in, what, a half hour to an hour. You know, how much are you going to put into it? You know, I was speaking to another client the other day, and they're a full-time nurse and this and that, but they have such a passion for fashion. And that's just such a pun and a rhyme right there, but passion for fashion. But they have a passion for fashion. And I was telling them, I said, well, you know, I understand you're doing the 12-hour work shift in nursing, but unless you own the hospital, where is this dream of your fashion industry going to come to fruition? You know, so you have to consciously decide, okay, guess what? You know what? Okay, 12 hours, I'm going to give 20 minutes. If that's where you have to start. But you've got to start, guys. That is the most crucial point. The starting thing. Like Coach Black and I have been away for about 2 weeks now, and we were doing this consecutively. And then, like, even this evening, I was feeling a little bad. My back was hurting me. I said, you know what? No, I'm not doing this. I contacted Coach Black. I said, let's do it. She's like, I'm running downstairs now, girl. I said, let's do it. Because this is a commitment to y'all. And this is a commitment to the greater and better me. When I want to be a public speaker, y'all are assisting me in becoming that. You know, so I just love the fact that this is something that we can offer, you know, to the wider the community and to the world, because we're not even just dealing with the Bahamas. We have people that come in and sign in from all over the United States and the Caribbean. And I am honored to be a part of your lives. And I know I'm rambling, Coach Black, so please take it away from me before I just keep going on and on and on.
The thing is, Coach Ra, what you're saying is just what is needed at this moment for people to hear. And so I want to say thank you for sharing your heart, because this is your heart that you're sharing. I get to interact with you in a personal way, and so I know when you're sharing your heart, and that's what it is. And so, audience, what we're saying to you is that your desires are an accurate picture of what it is that you were destined to become. And so you must pay attention to your desires. Notice them. Paying attention is important. That's how you're going to change your life. Because you have to notice what you're noticing. And then you're going to create a plan for it. Set goals. Small goals every day. Every day. You do something towards what it is that you're called to be. And as I said that, I thought of this. How unfair is it to the real you, to the you that you were created to be? How unfair is it to do everything that society tells you to do, but you don't do what you are gifted to do? I think that in itself, that feeling, that is the greatest theft that you can ever be a part of. Not allowing the true you to be made manifest. And so today I want to ask you to look at where you're at and to say to yourself, truly, whether you're satisfied or not with where you're going. And if you're not, then you need to decide to allow the real you, the authentic you, to be made manifest. The fact that you're hearing this webinar means that you're becoming aware. And once awareness is there, you're liberating to become the authentic you. Now, you know what it is that you desire. You created a plan. Now it's time to create. And not so much to create, because you don't need to go out there in a literal sense and create. you're going to just discover. That's what it really is. Because the true you is already there. You need to give that true you permission to live, to come forth, to be made manifest. And that's when you're going to be fulfilled. And I can tell you, without a shadow of a doubt, that every day that I do something closer or more in line with what it is that I was put here to do, I am liberated a little bit more each time. Pay attention to your desires. Those desires are an accurate picture. How is it quoted, Coach Ra? An accurate picture of what it is that you're supposed to be? So say that for me, please.
It says your desires are an accurate picture of what you are to become, what you can achieve. So basically it's telling you from the get-go, as soon as you spit it out, if you have said, say you've been sitting with a group of your girls, your boys, you know, and or your family members, and you say, you know what, I'm going to be a millionaire. You don't understand what you've just said. I'm getting goosebumps sitting here. Because it's an accurate picture of what you can become. It's not, oh, I'm going to be a millionaire. Well, no, I really can't achieve it. No, I can't. No, don't have the ways, the means, da-da-da-da. Guys, oh my God, we don't get it. Accurate picture? That means God will not have allowed you to state it out of your mouth if you could not achieve it. Do you get that? That is like, you're sitting at work. You're with your girls. You're sitting with your boss, your coworkers, and you say, you know what? That house on the corner, I'm going to buy it. You can achieve it. That's how powerful it is. Once it's said, oh my gosh. Like, I'm just feeling overwhelmed right now because I just know I've watched it happen with me. I mean, seriously, guys, I've watched. Right now, I'm multiplying my businesses every day. I'm multiple streams of income. I am so done with people telling me, oh, Ruthann, you can't do this and you can't do that. And like Coach Black says, don't listen to the naysayers because they're there. There's many naysayers out there, and they're going to tell you how you can't do this because of this, and you can't do that because of that. You know why? Because they're fearful. Sometimes they're fearful that you will become a greater force than them. And the thing is, what people don't understand, we're not on this earth for a competition. I am here to manifest myself to be the greatest self that I can be. You know, so I have learned that, guess what? I am an entrepreneur, and I believe in multiple streams of income. That's my belief system. And guess what? I really don't care who doesn't believe in that. That's on them. You know, and so seriously, you know, I love what Coach Black and I do. I love being able to just take people to another level. And, you know, we're not just motivational speakers. You know, we're not here just to motivate you. We're here to transform you. We don't want to go backwards. And that's very important for you to understand. See, the difference between motivation and transformational is motivation only is going to keep you for like 30 days. No, we don't want to keep you for those 30 days. We want to transform your life. We want to take you to the next level. We want you to be like, OMG, I'm not going back there. We want your eyes to be open. We want to awaken you. And that's some serious stuff. Because you know what's so amazing? Once you're awakened, you can't go back. So I'd like to close just by saying, you know, I just love the Mindset Reset Master Power Series TV. You know, I just love it. And we're going to continue doing this until y'all tell us y'all don't want to hear it no more. And guess what? We still don't care because we can continue doing it. Love you guys. Coach Black, you can say your closing words.
My closing words are that I know that this works. I know it without a shadow of a doubt. I am living the things, I'm seeing them made manifest every day. I'm living the desires of my heart. I am truly living them. And I will tell you that, no, I don't have the amount of money that I need to make 9 out of 10 of the things that I'm doing happen. But because I am awake, I have been connected to people that can make them happen. And I wanna just say to you, our audience, do not let where you are put limits on where you're meant to be. And I'm saying that from my heart today, because I truly believe that everything you want, everything that you desire is within reach. From the depths of my heart, no one can tell me other than that, because that is what I believe. And I believe that as it can happen for me, it can happen for you. I believe in your dreams. I believe in your potential. I believe that you can make manifest every desire, every goal, everything you've ever wanted. But you have to make a plan if you're going to be successful. You have to plan for success. It doesn't just happen. Go out there and plan for the success that you desire and make it happen. Thank you so much for tuning in to Mindset Reset Power Series TV. Do enjoy your evening. We look forward to serving you every Monday evening at 7 p.m. To find us, visit our websites, www.fredricablackcoaching.com, http coachmeruthann.com. Visit our websites. Connect with us. We love you. We believe in you. We're signing off.
Good night, everybody.